Hi class, in this video I am going to go over the instructions for the Common Exit essay. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the due dates, a little bit of background information on what the assignment is about. I'm also going to go over the instructions. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and look at the syllabus. So if you look at our syllabus, here we have the time frame for the Common Exit essay. So if you scroll all the way down, this Common Exit essay is going to be assigned on October 12th. Now, in case you're wondering why does it have to be assigned on October 12th, well, this is an assignment that is assigned by every single CCD 110 course. So basically what that means is that every CCD 110 course is required to assign it. It is a requirement from the department. So we have to do this essay during these 2 weeks. Once you read the instructions, you'll see that it says you have 4 class periods to work on this. 4 class periods is basically the equivalent to 2 weeks. Of course, since we're not meeting in person, that does give you a little bit of extra time. It gives you the full 2 weeks. So the Common Exit essay is going to be assigned on October 12th. And then it is going to be due on October 25th. So basically for these 2 weeks, the only thing that we're going to be working on is the Common Exit essay. So the first week, we're going to have a discussion over the Common Exit essay articles just to make sure that you read them. And then the second week, the Common Exit essay is due on October 25th. So I just wanted to give you like a brief overview because after the Common Exit essay, we're going to start working on our portfolio because believe it or not, after the Common Exit essay, we only have about a little bit like a month and maybe like a week or 2 left. So after the Common Exit essay, we start working on the portfolio. So now I'm going to give you a little bit of background information on the Common Exit essay. And for that, we're going to go to modules. So basically what I did was I added a CE module. And again, this was not published before because technically you're not supposed to get the Common Exit essay before. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background information and then I'm going to go over this module so that you can kind of see what the assignment is about. The Common Exit essay is basically like an exit exam. So that is why it cannot be assigned before October 12th or why you cannot view the files before October 12th because it's sort of like an exam, so you can't see it ahead of time. You only see it for those 2 weeks and after, obviously. So basically what it is an essay that you write to show that you have acquired the necessary skills to move on to English 111. So I'm going to show you the 2 options. The department chose 2 options. Basically the instructions are the same. The only difference is the topic. So you can either choose topic number 1, which has to do with Facebook. Do you have a moral duty to leave Facebook? That's the prompt question. Topic number 2 is the importance of giving students a voice. So as you can see, it's 2 different topics. The instructions are the same. The process is the same. Like I mentioned, the only difference is the topic. So I'm going to click on the first topic just so that I could go over the instructions. So like I was mentioning before, the Common Exit essay is sort of like an exam to show that you have learned the necessary skills to move on to English 111. So basically, you need to complete this essay to be eligible to pass this class. Now, I should mention that this essay is not worth any points. It is worth, it is basically like a pass or a no pass, right? So if you pass it, you get a P. If you don't pass it, you get a no pass. So basically what that means is that if you pass it, you are eligible to pass the class. If you don't pass it, then you are not eligible to pass the class and you cannot move on to English 111. I know that seems really scary because basically what it's saying is that if you don't pass this essay, you don't pass the class. However, you have an option and an opportunity to revise the essay if you don't pass it the first time. So basically the way the process works is that you are assigned this essay, which we are doing right now, and nobody can help you. Tutors can't help you. I can't help you either. And you submit the essay on October 25th, and then I am going to fill out the rubric, which we're going to go over a little bit later. And if you get a no in one of the criterias, then you have to revise that part of the essay and resubmit it again with your portfolio. However, after you've submitted it the first time, I can help you, tutors can help you. So essentially how it works is that I work with you. That way, when you submit it with your portfolio, we already know it's a pass because I've been working on the revision process with you. So to be honest with you, I've taught this class for maybe about 12 years, and I've only had one student that did not pass the class. But he didn't pass because he had a failing grade, but also he didn't pass because he did not revise the common exit essay. So if you think about it, if you don't pass it the first time, as long as you revise it and you fix those things that the rubric says to fix, then you should pass it without a problem. So I know it sounds like very daunting, like, oh my gosh, I have to pass this essay. But like I said, you have 2 opportunities, and I work with you closely. Like, I look at your revisions to make sure that once you submit it with your portfolio, it is actually a passing essay. So that is what we mean by you must complete this essay to be eligible to pass this class. So moving on to the first topic, both instructions are set up the same, where they give you background information, they give you a prompt, and then they provide some more important details or instructions. So this one has to do with Facebook. It says, over the past few years, Facebook has unintentionally been involved in several controversies, ranging from data breaches to the spread of hate speech, propaganda, and fake news. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard about all of these things that have been going on with Facebook. So this article discusses that topic and asks, do you have a moral duty to leave Facebook? That's the title of the article. So what this topic is asking you to do, or this option is asking you to do, is to read the article and then develop an argumentative essay that answers this question. Should people have a moral obligation to leave Facebook and other social media platforms? So this is the question that you're going to base your essay around. And if this looks familiar, it probably looks familiar because it's very similar to the diagnostic, and it's also very similar to essay 2, the second essay that we did. However, for our second essay, we had to deal with 2 articles. For this common exit essay, you only have to deal with 1 article. So this is the question you're going to answer in your essay if you decide to select this topic. And you also have to provide reasons supported by examples from your own personal experiences and from the article itself. So you have to summarize and you have to cite the evidence from the text. Now, obviously, we haven't covered APA in this class. So what it means by cite the evidence, it means that you should use signal phrases. Also, you have to summarize and give credit to the assigned article. So if you think about essay number 2, I talked about how you should summarize the article in the introduction. Something else to note, you cannot rely on any other sources. So please make sure that you only rely on the article that is linked here. Then, here we have some information. Well, I should mention, it tells you that you cannot get help from the tutoring center or teachers or classmates or anybody like that the first time. Once you get the essay back and you are revising it, then you can go ahead and get help from other people. So regarding the format, your essay should be word processed, double spaced, and in a standard 10 to 12 point font. So it can be Calibri, Times New Roman, or any similar font. There is no required length, but please keep in mind that typically a good essay is about 2 pages, but there's no required length. You can write less, you can write more. And right here, you don't really have to worry about putting your banner ID because this was whenever we would have face-to-face classes. Since we're not meeting face-to-face right now, you don't have to worry about the banner ID or anything like that. So this is option number 1. And we're still in the CE module. So if you click on next, you'll see the article right here. So here's the article that you have to read. You can go ahead and go to the link that was provided in the instructions page, or you can go ahead and read the PDF copy if you'd like, whatever you prefer. So here we have the PDF copy. It's just that we provided the copy because sometimes with New York Times and other newspapers, they don't let you view an article unless you are a subscriber. So that is the article. Now we're going to move on to option number 2. As you can see, option number 2 is the same instructions, the same guidelines as option number 1. So everything is the same. The only difference is the description and the prompt. So this one has to do with the student's voice. How important are college students' opinions regarding their campus experience? Do students have the power as stakeholders in their education to participate in making their college more responsive to their needs? The importance of giving students a voice is the title of the article, and here we have a link as well. But the question that your essay should be based on is, does DACC provide students the opportunities to participate and voice their concerns and opinions? So this is a different topic. This one has to do more with your voice in DACC, whereas option number 1 had to do with Facebook. So, like I said, everything is the same. The process is the same. The formatting is the same. The only difference is the topic and the prompts. So you decide which topic works best for you. I suggest that you read both articles and then make a decision based on that. So remember that for this one too, you cannot use any outside articles. If you choose this option, you have to answer this question and you have to use this article and only this article. So, like I said, I suggest that you read both articles, read the instructions, and then make a selection based on what interests you the most. So here we have the article for the second essay. For the second option. And please keep in mind that you only have to select one option. Next, we have the rubric. So this rubric might look familiar because it is the one that I use for the diagnostic and also for essay 2. So if we look at this rubric, it basically has the criteria that we are going to use to evaluate your essay. So your essay is evaluated based on focus, development, and clarity. So focus basically has to do with your argument and your organization. The first thing that it asks is, does the writing make an argument in answer to the question? Basically, do you have a thesis? If you do, then great. If it's unclear, it's sort of there, it'll be in progress. If it's a no, then that means that that's an area that you're going to have to revise whenever you get the results. Does the writing stay focused? I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Basically, do you stay on topic? Is the writing organized? Do you follow a logical organization? Like, does your argument make sense? Do you provide reasons? In the video for essay number 2, I talk about how reasons answer the question why and how they are different from facts and examples. Also, you do need to provide examples, personal experiences, personal observations, but also you want to go ahead and provide examples from the article. This one asks if you summarize. So again, you want to summarize the article in the introduction, but you also want to go ahead and include quotes or examples in the body of the essay. Remember, you don't want to quote in the summary, but you can put quotes and examples in the body of the essay. Next, does the writing explain how the examples and sources connect to the argument? So basically remember that any example you put, any quote you put in there has to be related to your main point, which is your thesis, right? So how does it relate? You have to go ahead and show us how your examples and article examples, how do they relate to the main point? Next, does the writing use signal phrases? We went over this in chapter 2. I also have a video where I went over chapter 2 and I talked about signal phrases. Signal phrases are words like according to Smith, Smith argues, Smith states, Smith claims, things like that. Those are signal phrases. So you want to make sure that you include them in your essay so that we know so that we can differentiate between your words and the author's words. And the last one just has to do with like paragraphs and spelling and sentence boundaries and things like that. So this is the rubric that is going to be used, so make sure that you look at it, and if you have any questions, please let me know. So that is pretty much like all of the instructions. What follows next is the assignments that we're going to do. So the first assignment is a discussion. So basically, this one is just for 10 points. It's not, it's not part of the larger common exit essay. It's just something that we can do so that we can discuss the articles. Because typically we would discuss this in person in class, but since we're not meeting in class, we are going to discuss them through the discussions thread. So basically what you have to do is you have to, again, read both options, select one option, and then you have to answer these questions over the option that you chose. So after you've chosen your topic, read that article, which should be one of these, and answer these questions. So hopefully this helps us to get a conversation going, and hopefully, it gets us thinking about the articles. So this is just sort of like a minor assignment to help us think about the articles, and that way I can provide feedback, in case, you are unclear about the main point or anything like that. I could provide some feedback without, obviously helping you too much, because I'm not allowed to help you. So the next assignment is the big assignment, and this is the common exit essay. This is the assignment where you submit your essay. So here we have a brief overview of the instructions, and then we have this video, and then we have the rubric. So please let me know if you have any questions. The assignment is due on October 25th, but because it's a very major assignment, I went ahead and I left it open until October 26th, which means that if you submit it after October 25th, the assignment will still be open, but your submission will be counted as late. So I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions. I should mention that in case you don't pass it the first time, you do have a second option to revise, and that revision is due with your portfolio. If you pass it the first time, then you have to select any of the essays that we've done. You have to select one of them to revise for your portfolio. So the portfolio requires that you revise a previous essay. So if you don't pass the common exit essay, you have to revise it for the portfolio. If you do pass the common exit essay, then you have an option on which essay you want to revise. So I know this video was kind of long, but I really wanted to go over everything very thoroughly. But if you have any questions, please let me know.